It's time for me to show you some basic chord shapes, and these simple chord shapes will be able to take you a really long way. You will be able to play hundreds, maybe thousands of songs, most of them pop or rock, that all these songs have the same structures. So after this lesson you will probably be able to play songs like this. Something like this. Even, you know, using songs with minor chords. But we will start with the major chords. I will show you the basic shapes. Before going into bar chords, I will show you the basic shapes using some open strings and some strings where you have to push down the notes like this. But bar chords will follow later. Let's start with, for instance, a G chord. And in a regular chord, if we say this is a G chord, it means you have the root, you have the G, you have the third step of the G major scale. And that's a B, this is called the third, and then you have the fifth, the D. So this is called a G triad. So one of the most basic chord shapes. The easiest one would be to play it like this. G, B. But I will show you a voicing that sounds better, a fatter one. We have G, you have B. Using my second finger here on the 6th string. Using my first finger on the 5th string. Open D string, that's the 5th. Back to this, the root again. Open G string. Then I use my 3rd finger for playing a D here on the B string, 3rd position. And my 4th finger, like this, on the top string. And let's start by coordinating with the right hand. Try to do it like the tempo 1, 2. Just even fourth notes, quarter notes. Then you can start doing these upstrokes. Ding, 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 ding. Now I'm just muting, so you will see how my right hand is moving. Open C. Ding, 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 ding. And sometimes, if you want to add a different flavor to this chord, instead, for instance, if you want to create a good bass line following some of the other chords, you might, instead of having G in the bass, you might want to have this note in the bass, the 3rd. It's still the same chord, still the same notes, but you have a bit different root. And then it will sound like this. Or maybe you want to have D in the bass. The 5th in the bass, and it's like this. So the original chord, G with B in the bass, the 3rd in the bass, and G with the 5th in the bass, D. So those are the basic 3 inversions of that chord. All right. Time for the next chord, C. This is the basic chord shape for a C chord. C, E, 3rd finger, 2nd finger, open G string, 1st finger, and an open E string on top. Root, 3rd, 5th, root, and 3rd. I like that one. I also like to play that chord like this and add a ninth. This is more advanced. This means I add the second step of the scale, a D, to get this kind of flavor. As in many songs, you go in between a G, which is a tonic chord, and in the key of G, this will be called a subdominant chord, the C. It's the relation in between these two chords. So it's a good way of playing that C chord, adding the ninth. C add 9. There's the D on the 3rd position, 2nd string. But you can of course also do it like this. And you can even add, if you want to add a G on top instead of the E, you can add a G. There are many possibilities. And maybe play, if you want to have the 3rd in the bass, you play an open E string, like that. And maybe you want to have G in the bass, the 5th. You just add it here on the low E string. Nice, huh? And then in the key of G, now we have the tonic chord, we have the subdominant chord, and here is what we would call the dominant chord, the fifth step of G of a major scale. We'll get back to the major scale later. This is called a D chord. So we have D, we have A, 1st finger, 2nd position. We have a D once again, 3rd position, 2nd string, and we have F sharp on the top E string, like this. And if you want to add the 3rd, the F sharp in the bass, you can add it. You can move fingering, so you use these 3 fingers, 2, 4, and 3 here, and you add this one on the low E string, F sharp. But I kind of like doing it with the thumb, so I can keep the original. See if you can try to grip this with the thumb, like this, coming from the other side of the guitar neck. So. So as you can hear, for going from G, when you're going to C, instead of jumping like this, it might be good to play this chord in between the 3rd, because then you will have a chromatic bass line. Like that. And then if you have the D chord, you can even do this before going back from D, going back to G. You can use this voicing, because then you will once again have a chromatic approach. Like that. Sounds really good. Then you can also, it's called suspend chords. Instead of using the 3rd, you can add the 4th. So as you can hear, it sounds like this. It's a little suspension. It's nice. So instead of the 3rd, you can do the same on the C, moving that E into an F. 3rd, 4th, 3rd. And on the G chord, then you you can use a C instead of the B.